Yeah. Welcome to Twins Talk MMA. We just had the biggest sporting event on the weekend, all around the world, but it wasn't the biggest sporting event in this household. Ryan had a fight. What are your
hmm
thoughts? What did you think? Did you rewatch it or is it not?
They haven't uploaded it yet. They've been uploading them today, so I'll have to rewatch it. But yeah, I lost. Lost by decision. Lost the first two rounds. Won the third. I thought. I I thought people were coming up to me afterwards. I don't know if they were biased for me or they were trying to make me feel better or I don't know why, but they were just like, "Yeah, I thought you clearly won." I didn't. I'll have to rewatch it, but I thought, yeah, he definitely got the first two rounds. I definitely got the third. Um, yeah, I just struggled. I was expecting him to shoot more. I was expecting him to shoot kind of straight away. Whenever I played the fight over in my head, that's how I imagined it going because that's what he did last time. Whereas this time, I think he barely shot and he just kept it standing. And the calf kicks, he ate me up with the calf kicks early on, and I kind of jolted my
Mm.
pressure. Or yeah, the calf kicks were giving me an issue. But I just couldn't seem to, I guess, get going. I guess yeah, I think the calf kicks were an issue, and I just couldn't really get going.
Yeah. I thought the third round was definitely yours. I thought the first round it wasn't as clear cut as the third, but I'd give it to him. And then I think the second round was a bit of a coin toss.
Oh,
I
I'll
know,
have to
I know,
rewatch it, but
I know you had a bit of control time, but I thought you did a bit better than him on the striking. And
hmm.
then you got a bit of control time at the end, but to my knowledge, you didn't strike or really threaten anything. So I felt they went with the control time over the striking in the second.
Yeah, I'll have
But
to rewatch it, but
by the time I wasn't like I don't know. I might have leaned it to him, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure when it's getting announced.
hmm. I
Um,
felt like I lost. I thought I was,
yeah, I
yeah,
could tell as soon as it was over. He just laid on the mat and was like, "Oh, yeah." I,
yeah.
th- I was,
And the guillotine was, it, it wasn't close, but I was in a good position, but I just couldn't get that hand through further. It's the gloves as well. It's hard to get. It's not even just normal MMA gloves. The amateur gloves, so they're 8 ounces, they're thick.
hmm.
So trying to get that through, I struggled.
Do you
I
struggle
think
with the
maybe there was a
time?
point. Hmm?
Do you struggle with the time? Because
It did
three
seem.
three
It did seem.
threes feels very short to me.
It did seem short when I was in there because I remember after the fight, sat in like the locker room, change room, whatever. After the fight, and I was like, can't believe I'm just sat here and the fight's done and it's done. It just flew by so quickly.
Mm.
I think if it was 5 rounds, because I won the third, I wasn't gassed. That's why it's a bit of frustration as well. I could have went for it more. I was kind of looking for openings, and I was expecting him to shoot. I didn't want to go blazing in for him to shoot. That's what I was expecting.
Mm.
But
How did you
yeah,
feel with the striking?
yeah, I felt because he was eating me up with the calf kicks, I did end up getting a bit sloppy.
Mm.
I'll have to rewatch it, but I don't. I wasn't during the fight. I wasn't impressed with my striking. I felt sharp on the pads and warming up just before the fight. I felt sharp. I felt good leading up to the very start of the fight. Even the preparation for the fight. I was happy and I was proud of the preparation, just not happy with the execution. It just, I think the calf kicks were giving me an issue because
Mm.
he landed a few fairly early on, and I was like, okay, it was never to the thigh, it was always to the calf, and it was like, Okay, that's started to hurt now.
Yeah.
Like, it was, yeah, they were bothering me. But like even back, I was like, if I switch stance, like if I switch to southpaw, he never really threw the calf kicks.
Mm.
But then like I don't like defending takedowns in southpaw because I'm not. My base is like more. I end up being more of like a karate stance if I move to southpaw. Then I don't know why, but like I'm not as good as defending and sprawling from southpaw, so I didn't want to stand in southpaw too long. But then he didn't end up like shooting so much, so I should have done. But
Mm.
yeah, you can go over loads of tiny details, but
Yeah, I think when I was
yeah,
watching it, I did say like, stop going southpaw because I don't know. I
yeah. But
felt
then
like
I
you were.
wasn't getting it up with calf kicks when I was in
I know,
southpaw.
but I feel like you were stronger. I didn't really notice the calf kicks like that. That there were effect. Um, but
Yeah, like
I
it's
thought
like
I
like
thought you were
still
more
hurting now.
effective
Like
in orthodox, and I think the teeps as well. I think I don't know.
yeah, I landed a couple good tapes. Like when
Mm,
I envisioned the fight, I envisioned a tape to the chin. I wasn't like planning for that, but
mm,
when I went over the fight over in my head loads of times, I imagined him shooting and me taping on the chin.
yeah,
But I also envisioned me sprawling, going towards the back, and then going for like controlling the back, potentially rear naked choke. I've over the past, I guess, months, maybe even just over the past year, my back attacks have just been so much better.
yeah, yeah,
So that's what I like when I mostly envisioned the fight. It was because I was expecting him to shoot a lot more. Was sprawling, going towards the back, controlling, get my hooks in. Yeah,
hmm,
but it is what it is. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Like I'm not like frustration hits now and again. I'm like just like sat and I think about it. I'm like but I'm all good. It is what it is.
yeah, yeah. And I think you said you're not planning on having one very soon.
No, like I was up in the air with it even before this fight, but if it is, I reckon. I was even debating that could have been the last one. I was like debating. I've still because it's always just been fun for me. It was never
Mm,
like I've just had a few amateur fights. It's always just been fun for me, and I just thought like maybe focus because it takes a lot of time and stuff. Like it takes a lot of effort, and I love
yeah,
it. But I just wanted to focus in other areas. Like yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But right now I'm thinking like even if I'm going back, which right now I'm thinking more September. Like,
yeah, yeah,
just I need to get better. I know where I need to get better at. So I might just take a couple of months. Like I'm always going to train. I reckon I'll still be like 50 training. Like I feel like I'm always going to train. It's just yeah. Well, we'll just see how it goes.
Well, more than 50. Was that 74-year-old on
Yeah,
boxing?
yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
do you know what
50,
I'm on about?
60.
That guy who does the boxing videos, like 74. Unreal boxer.
I might. I'm sure. I've seen something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll be like him. If we make
But
it to 75, eh?
But yeah, I'm just seeing how it goes. I reckon I'll still have more fights because I like it, and yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see.
We'll see. All right, UFC 300. We'll start from the top,
Mm.
just so we
What
don't run
like
out of
just
time.
talk about the card overall? Like this was like built up as the greatest card ever, and I can't say if it was the greatest card ever overall, but I think it lived up to the hype. Like the card was stacked from top to bottom, and maybe there was one or two fights that didn't deliver, but apart from that, like the whole card itself absolutely delivered.
Hmm. Oh, it was great. I loved it. I think there wasn't one fight where you watched it and you came away like, oh, that was boring. Like, and I think the Holloway and Gaethje somehow exceeded
Mm.
expectations.
Yeah.
And yeah, crazy, crazy fights. No, no, no boring ones. Nothing, and even the less spectacular ones, what you expected, like Sterling Cater. It's
Mm.
Sterling Kate's not going to throw her down in the middle, are they? But nah. We'll start off with the main event, Pereira Hill. I was surprised. Just the first clean shot he landed, he put him away.
Mm.
I did think Pereira was going to get him out in a couple of rounds, but it just looked simple. And one of the most gangster finishes. Just told Herb Dean to fuck off, like I've done at the TV many times, and he just landed that left hook. There's a little bit of a left hook, left uppercut, like sort of thing. It wasn't like
Yeah, it was
a
like a short. Like,
complete left hook, and then just perfect for him. He did
like
great.
he said afterwards, like he told Herb Dean because he was like, he said he got his range, so that's why he was like, no, I don't want to stop. Like I've got my range,
Mm.
I don't want to reset. So he was like, Herb Dean back off, ready to go, and it was like 2 seconds later he landed that punch, and I felt like he was setting it up because he was throwing a lot of jabs to the body. Like I was saying to you, like in those first, however fight that went on, like the first 30 seconds, first minute, he was throwing a lot of jabs to the body. And he's done that before, like against Strickland, he did that a lot before he set it up. Makes the other person drop the hand so that left hook comes over.
Mm.
I don't know it was like a left, wasn't like a complete left hook, it was like a shovel, but yeah, he just set that up perfectly. And I knew it was like, I was like, I would be shocked if this even goes past 2 rounds, but to put him away with the first shot he landed, and like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I picked Hill. I was like, I was 50-50 on it. Like a lot of these fights, I was 50-50. But
Mm.
I leaned towards Hill. But fucking fair play to Pereira.
Like it's mad. How many MMA fights has he had? Is it even
10.
yeah?
I
Like
think
and
it's
he's
like
beaten
maybe
more
12. I
world
think it's like 10
champion.
and 2.
Yeah, and he's beaten more world champions than most people in their MMA careers.
Hmm.
Like what he's done in such a short space of time is just crazy. And
And he obviously got the push because of Izzy, who wanted to set up that fight. But he's proved, like, he didn't just get that push off Izzy. Like, he was went to light heavyweight, beat Jan Blachowicz, knocked out Yuri, now knocked out Jamal Hill.
mm,
Like, he's proven now that, like, two-weight champion in kickboxing, arguably one of the best. And him to heavyweight, I don't
mm,
think it should be
nah.
next, but I would like to see it happen at some point because,
Would you like to see it happen?
yeah, because it's just like, this is a chance for someone to be the only person to be champion in 3 weight classes. So I would like to see him get, like, have the opportunity.
I just think Tom will just drop him on his head.
Yeah,
We're talking about a proper 265 pound heavyweight.
and
I'd,
who has the grappling expertise of Tom? I'm not
yeah,
saying Alex, I would pick Alex, but I'm just saying it would be good for him to be given that opportunity to be the first person to have 3 weight class, 3 champion.
I think if it was Jones, then I'd be more favourable towards it. But I just don't want to see him get absolutely decimated. I just think that's how the Tom fight would go. Like we're talking
Yeah,
about
but
a
then
man
there's
that can make
Pereira's
185.
power. Obviously, there's Aspinall's power. Like, them two could fight, and Aspinall could knock him out in a minute, like he did against Pavlovich. But I'm not saying
Yeah,
it should be next. I don't want to see it next. But I'm just saying maybe down the line, give him the opportunity just to do it. I would like to
mm.
see it. Not say next, but I would like to see it. And he said he called out. Thing is, that people saying that he called out Aspinall. He didn't call out Aspinall. He just called out for a heavyweight fight in 3 weeks. He didn't say
Mm.
Tom Aspinall in 3 weeks, which I would be down for it.
He's got to go
Give him
Manchester, though, hasn't he?
no, I'm saying give Pereira a heavyweight fight in 3 weeks in Brazil. Brazil need pumping up that card.
Mm.
It can be like Anderson Silva fought at light heavyweight when he was champion. Just give Pereira a heavyweight fight. Doesn't have to be a
Tie,
title fight. Just give him a heavyweight fight.
tie to Avasa. Like
Maybe like
a striking matchup.
I'll say Volkov, but Volkov's just been matched up, hasn't he, with Pavlovich? Is that right?
No, I think they both denied it. I think they both denied that fight.
Already.
They got announced, but I think they both said like we haven't signed shit. I don't know why they've announced that, but
Yeah, Pereira Volkov, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Just because the Brazil card's kind of dead. He's calling
mm,
for a heavyweight fight in 3 weeks. If he wins it, it sets up a heavyweight title fight down the line.
mm,
I don't think he should be defending his light heavyweight in 3 weeks, especially against Magomed Ankalaev, which you'd need a full count for Ankalaev.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I would like to see it. 3 weeks heavyweight fight, bit of fun.
bit of fun, yeah. The co-main,
I'll just
obviously,
quickly
mm,
Jamal Hill. I think he'll be back. It's a quick knockout, but he did call out Yuri after the fight. He said seems to be in high hopes. He seems to be dealing with it well. Called out Yuri, which I think's the correct fight to make. Jamal Hill versus Yuri. I don't think Yuri deserves a title shot
no,
straight
no,
after that performance. Even after that performance, he got hurt in the first round. We'll talk about it later, but Jamal Hill, Yuri. I think that fight should be next.
especially that it was the fight that was booked before, wasn't it?
Mm.
I think, yeah, Jamal. Why do you keep calling him Jamal? Jamal got injured, didn't he? And
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that was the fight. Yeah.
So yeah, why not rebook it? Yuri can't have a title shot.
Mm.
He wasn't even on a big winning streak before he got the Glover fight. I think he
Yeah, I
was on
think
like a
he's
two fight winning streak. So yeah, give him a Jamal Hill, Yuri. That'd
yeah.
be a great fight. I mean, there's Killer Roundtree there, which I still want. We got to see him in Pereira at some point, so I want him to be in the title picture somehow. But yeah, it's a fun fight.
Mm. Yeah, go on, come in.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, you got sandwiched between these two great fights. So it did
Yeah, like
seem a lot of people like went for a piss, went for some food. It was so quiet,
yeah,
wasn't it?
the stadium, like there was a lot of empty seats. It did get quiet. Like it wasn't even like booze. It was just quiet,
But
which
it
is
was
a
a great fight.
disrespect to Zhang and Yan. But yeah, it was like, oh, it's a toilet break. We've had Holloway Gage. We'll have a toilet break now for the main event. But the co-main, even though you can argue it should have been stopped after the first round,
It should have been stopped.
because Zhao Nan was out. Like she was out.
Mm,
Like it wasn't like, oh, she seemed out.
yeah, yeah.
Which I don't know what like the because the only time I remember happening before is Marab and who did Marab fight? Well, someone had Marab in a guillotine, but that was the end of the fight, like end of the third round, and Marab
Yeah.
went out, and they reversed that decision. But obviously, this is between first and second round. They got her up, woke her up, and then in the second round, it could have arguably been stopped.
I saw
From
she's the first fighter to get a submission, a TKO, and a decision in the same fight.
like the second round could have been stopped for a TKO. Like I mean, that's the second round they gave a 10-8 to. She was just had her down, flattened out, landing punches. I thought they were going to stop it then.
Mm.
But Yan Xiaoran, after dealing with that and dealing after being asleep, came back and knocked down Zhang. She looked strong in that third round, and it was like she might bring this back.
Mm.
We were talking, we were like, Xiaoran could have brought this back.
Do you think it was a little bit of a big deflation from Jean Willy? Like
Possibly.
I've literally slept her. I should have finished her, and she's still here. She's getting a bit sloppy on her striking, but no, Jan looked great in
Yeah,
the third, fourth, and
striking looked
fifth.
on point. Like, obviously, it was the grappling of Zhang Weili that won this fight. Obviously, I thought Zhao Nan was bringing it back in the third round. I thought, did she knock her down twice, or was it just once?
I think twice.
Yeah, knocked her down twice. And I thought she actually could come back here, but then Zhang Weili, the grappling, took over in the fourth and fifth round.
Mm.
But big respect to Zhao Nan. She literally went out and came back, and it was clearly Zhang Weili's decision, but she fought very well.
You said the second round was a 10-8. Did they not give the first a 10-8?
No, no.
How do you not give that a 10-8?
I
I'm sure
guess.
you give a 10-8 where it's like domination or a near finish. There was no, you can't get a closer finish than that first round.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the second round that was a 10-8.
Yeah.
But I think Xiaonan's stock grew. She still fought well. She knocked
Mm.
down the champion twice. It doesn't set up a rematch anytime soon, but it still keeps Xiaonan up there at the top.
A thug was fight. Would be good. You got Mandan Ferrero.
No, there's different divisions now.
I know, but I don't like Rose at flyweight.
But she's not going back to Charlotte.
Does anybody like? I bet if you ask Pat Barry, come on, Pat, be truthful. Do you like Rose? Like, she's not a flyweight, is she?
Yeah,
Um,
but she's done at strawweight. Like she's 2-0 against Zhang Weili. There's no, She wants new challenges. But I'm just thinking who should be next for Zhang Weili. There's obviously Tatiana Suarez. She was meant to fight, wasn't she, against Amanda Lemos, but she got
yeah,
injured. Yeah, I think put her
yeah.
in. It depends
Well,
how quickly they want to turn around.
well, it depends on Tatiana's injury.
There's Jessica
Um,
Andrade as well, who got the win. I know she had a bad run, but she's got a couple of wins. She's
mm,
got a history with the champ. I don't know. There's options still. There's options. There isn't a rush for Zhang Weili to go up. Even though I
mm,
would like to see it at some point, there's no rush for it to move up yet.
yeah. Right. What would you say is the greatest moment, knockout fight in UFC history? Because I've heard all that about this fight.
And there's a strong argument for it to be the case.
Yeah.
I know it's like recency bias and things like that, but
Give
that
the
was
man
insane.
what he wants. I saw he's ninth today. Ninth in
Yeah,
lightweight rankings. I know you could argue he doesn't deserve a title shot yet. Blah, blah, blah. Give that man whatever he wants. Give him a welterweight title shot. I don't care. That man deserves exactly what he wants.
because it
What he.
wasn't it wasn't just the finish. The whole fight, he looked sharp.
Yeah.
I think he lost the third round, but apart from that, he was.
Oh, the fourth it was, yeah.
Oh, the fourth, I think. Yeah, because Holloway was 3-0 up. Apart from the fourth round, Holloway was on point
Hmm.
from the very first second. And I think the breaking Gage's nose, I think that stumped him a bit. He was like, oh, fuck. Because dealing with the rest of the fight with a broken nose against Holloway was an issue.
Yeah. I've seen people say, like, oh, if he didn't have that broken nose, I'm like, well, he did.
He did have it, like,
Yeah. It wasn't by accident. It was a perfectly
yeah.
timed spinning back kick. Yeah, I think he looked great. Especially what Gaethje's just done to Poirier. Mate, like, I just want to see him in Tapuria. I think that's the most fascinating fight, the most fascinating striking matchup you could
Mm.
ever have in the UFC right now.
And a lot of people were like, even when I was speaking to people, because I picked Holloway to win, they were like, "You pick Holloway," and I was like, "Yeah." Like, how do you think Holloway's going to win? I was like, obviously it was one of those 50-50 like the main event, but I was like, yeah, I'm leaning towards Holloway. And
Hmm.
people thought the power of Gaethje was just going to be too much for Holloway, but I thought Holloway was just faster, and then the volume in the later rounds. But even just early, he was taking over, and he just had like an answer for everything. The leg kicks were like took the leg kicks better than me. Like he smashed his leg to pieces, and he wasn't even post fight press conferences. He wasn't limping and things like that.
Yeah.
He took them very well because they looked like they were hurting.
He wasn't limping around a carvery the next day, was he? But
But like,
how
yeah,
the fuck did Volk 5-0 that man?
I know that shows like people keep doubting Holloway because of that, and it's like it just shows how good Volk is.
Hmm.
But he was clearly winning. Like he was 3-0 up. I thought clearly the first three
Hmm.
rounds. He lost the
Definitely.
fourth, and then in the fifth round he nearly got the finish. Like a minute, 2 minutes in, where he was hitting him against the cage. I thought he could have nearly took him out there.
Hmm. Oh,
10
it was a clear
seconds, 10
4-1.
seconds to go. He's won, and he could have just like coursed it or just done anything apart from pointed down and thrown down,
With
and he
Justin
just went
fucking
for it.
Gaethje.
Yeah,
Like, this isn't Lamas, this is Gaethje.
and one of the most dangerous strikers. He went, "No, I've already won this fight, but let's throw down." and with a second to go, he knocks him out.
I don't know what
I'll,
his original, but 600k in bonuses, well deserved,
yeah, well
much well
deserved.
deserved.
But
Um,
yeah, give it can because he looks good at like lightweight. Like he against the Poirier fight was on 6 weeks' notice. He looked small.
and he
Here
had power,
he looked like a proper lightweight.
yeah, and the power was there. Like he looked very similar at featherweight, but he just seemed that bit better, that bit more
Yeah, it's
powerful, a
just
bit
looked a
more
bit
on point.
thicker, and he just seems to keep getting better. And it's like I think he's like 10 years, 11 years. He's been fighting in the UFC. Fought
Mm.
in the UFC when he was 21, and people think he's older than he actually is, but he just keeps getting better.
And it's probably
I
that
don't.
age now where he's older, where he probably should like his body's just. It's going to be even harder to move back down. So he's probably naturally a lightweight now.
Yeah, but like against Zombie was at featherweight, and he didn't seem that much of an issue. So I don't think it'll be an issue against Taporia, which I think he's got so many options. You could put him in against a lightweight title fight. Like big respect for Gagey. He could have waited a little bit and fought at June 1st. Like
Mm.
Poirier's getting the title shot. Gagey knocked him out like not too long ago. Gagey should have had that title shot, but he took this fight. Big respect to him. So Holloway beat the number one contender. You can argue Holloway can get that lightweight title fight. There's
Mm.
also the featherweight, which I really want to see him and Taporia. Like people are forgetting about the Volk rematch now. They just want to see Holloway and Taporia, which it depends the timing because I think Volk should have some time to rest and stuff from the back of two knockouts.
Mm.
I don't know if they're going to Spain this year. The cards for the rest of the year seem pretty, apart from November, December, I think
Well, November's
every
MSG, isn't it?
yeah.
So
So maybe December Spain, but if it's not December, every pay per view seems to be locked up for the rest of the year.
mm.
But you can do that fight whenever, wherever. Like Holloway to Poirier would feed families. Like that fight is even like now. That's just such an insane fight to make. There's also like he could defend his BMF belt like
Yeah,
against anyone. You could Conor Chandler win a. You know him and McGregor would just be a huge fight if McGregor beats Chandler, and he's just got options. But if I had to pick, it would be clearly Taporia Holloway. Like
yeah.
that fight interests me so much.
That's the fight. There's no more exciting fight in the
Yeah,
UFC
like
right
if
now
I
than
had to
that fight.
matchmake one fight now, that would be it.
Because Topuri's just dominated. He's just managed to push the pace, get people basically very close to the fence, and he controls that entire fight. And he decides where it goes, and then he finishes it when you're close to the cage. And I don't see Max. I don't see him doing that to Max. So
Mm.
the fight's just so intriguing. But if he fights very late on in the year, that gives Volk enough time to rest. So I don't know what they're going to do with Max, but
You
he's got
see, that's what I
options.
mean. Like, I, Volk deserves the rematch,
It's better
but
to have options than it is to have Steve fight for the belt,
yeah,
like the flyweight situation. So we can't complain.
yeah, like Holloway's got options. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Mm.
Obviously, the fight before that, Oliveira Zarukian. I wish this was 5 rounds. I think I said it before the fight, and I just wish it was 5 rounds.
Yeah,
But
I don't know if this is going to annoy you. I want to see it again in a 5 round. I just feel like we didn't really get much of a winner. Armin won for me. I was quite confident that he won 2-1. I know you're a bit like, oh, not sure.
yeah,
It was close, but
after the fight, I was like, I think I picked Armand one, but I thought there was an argument for Charles just because the
mm.
way the round finished. We couldn't see how close the choke was. I think we thought it was closer than it was, but Armand quickly got up, raised his hands. I don't
I
think he
think
would
he
have done
knew
that
he
if it
was
was.
fine. He knew he had
Yeah,
10 seconds and he was fine.
but there wasn't like strong, like it wasn't like a dominant round for Armand. So that's why I
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
no.
you could argue Charles could have won, but I did watch that third round just before, like literally like an hour ago, and I was like, all right, Armand pretty much won that round because I thought the striking was closer. Yeah, Armand definitely won that third round for me.
Mm.
But Yeah, I think it was the first round to Charles,
Oh
second round
yeah, the
to Armin.
guillotine,
Yeah,
and
yeah. That guillotine was close. I thought he was done.
I would have lost my mind if he got that.
I thought he was done. That was close.
Yeah.
That was as close as you can get because Charles Oliveira, how dangerous he is, and you've seen his face as well. Like that was in.
Hmm.
Fair play to Armin. He fought out with it and just turned it around.
Well, just to quickly backtrack, another option, Charles Oliveira, because he's the definition of a BMF for a rematch.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, we all wanted Charlie Olives to win, didn't we?
mm.
He fought well, but you hope this isn't. I wouldn't say a downturn in his career, but he's 34 now.
Nah,
He's been in
he's
the
still
UFC
Charlie
since he was
Elvis. He's still
12,
dangerous.
and yeah, but I
He
think
was a
he
few
might not be.
seconds away from tapping out Armin in a minute. Like he's still
Yeah,
Charles Oliveira.
but it might be at the stage of his career now where he's just having fun fights. He might be
Yeah,
fighting Saint Denis, Dan Hooker. He might not be um, getting a title shot anytime soon.
no,
But
but
I'd
he's
like to
still up
see a
there.
rematch. I think
And obviously, Armin is now the number one contender. He did get offered the Islam fight,
that annoyed me.
but that he got offered it.
No, like how it's
Joe,
seven weeks. Like
yeah,
you
it's the way that like I think they were expecting like because obviously they asked Poirier and said yes, and they were
they asked
waiting
Armin
on like the
first.
winner
Yeah,
of this. And
yeah.
apparently they asked him like pretty much straight after the fight. They were like, "Do you want to fight June 1st?" And he was like, "Well, it's too soon,"
Doesn't
which I
matter.
think is the right call for him.
No,
Because I
I
think the
disagree.
winner of Poirier Islam will fight Armin
Yeah, I don't know.
probably October.
I just
In
think you take your title shot when you get it. I think, especially if it's 7 weeks. Like this fighters are taking it on a week, 2 weeks. I just think it's not like he's this like massive draw.
mm,
Like, and he's acting like, oh no, I'll take it on my time. You're the challenger. You just fight, and then if it gets offered to you, you take it. Yeah, if you got a bad injury, fair enough. But if it's just because it's 7 weeks, like I just think you have to take it.
but they did ask him straight after the fight. They didn't even give him the night. Like
Yeah.
I can understand why he didn't take it, and he'll probably fight. Like I feel Islam will beat Poirier. We don't know, but if Islam beats Poirier, his next fight will probably be October in Abu Dhabi. That's
Mm,
probably gonna be Islam and Arman. I really want to see that fight. It was a it was Islam's decision, but it was a good fight on Arman's debut. He's obviously gotten a
mm.
lot better. That fight really interests me, so I'm looking forward to that title fight whenever it happens.
Yeah, it's a smart decision, especially with this court case coming up with that fan. I did see today though he's not pressing charges, but he asked for McGregor Chandler tickets.
Why did he do it? Did the fan say something to him or?
I saw a video. The fan just did that to him. Oh, the fan was just doing that to his face. So,
Well, it gets deserved that, don't they? Like,
well, the guy pulled Charles' arms as well after.
people,
If
people
I'm a
went,
fighter, I'm not doing that, clapping the fans' hands because you don't know what's going to happen.
yeah, I know, some dick just starts pulling your arm, like,
Yeah, but yeah, the fight in October is probably the one, but we'll see.
yeah, yeah. Well, like, we want to go through every fight, so for these next, 9 fights, we'll have to go through a bit quicker. Uh, Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage. I thought it was still an okay performance from Bo Nickel. I know he put his thumbs down straight afterwards, but yeah, he's still early in his career. Cody Brundage is that higher level opponent than he has before. I thought Cody Brundage maybe hurt him, but it was pretty much Bo Nickel taking him down,
Hmm.
controlling him, gets the tap in the second round. I don't think. Obviously, people were booing. I think that was the placement of the card as well. I know they want to push Bo Nickel, but for 300 to celebrate the whole history, I don't think he should have been on the main card. But I thought it was still a decent performance by him.
Yeah, he did well. I just think it brought questions upon him, and so far he's just won every fight smoothly.
Hmm.
But after this fight, you've got questions now of can he? How would he go against the top 10, top 5? So I think
Mm.
that was the problem that he had with himself. Like it showed vulnerability to him, to his game. But he fought well. He got the finish. And
And he's
Cody's a
still
tough
like
fighter.
5, 6 and all. Like he's still young, like early in his career.
Mm. So I think, yeah, still getting fights outside the rankings. But I thought he did well. I thought he did well.
Yeah, I could see him maybe fighting McGregor Chandler card if he wants to turn around that quick. I know it's still like 2.5 months, so it's not like that quick.
He
But
had 9 months out, didn't he, or 10 months?
yeah, yeah. So I could still see him like fighting on International Fight Week, just fighting on big cards, and still, still fairly far away from top 10, top 5 title. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. Prelim headliner: Yuri versus Rakic. I thought Rakic put in an unbelievable performance for being 2 years out, and
Mm,
he looked great. He looked very good. The
mm.
leg kicks, the striking, like he wasn't getting touched that much in the first round, and then it just goes west.
Yeah, like those leg kicks were given up. There was even one point where he hit Yuri and Yuri stumbled and then switched stance, and it was like, yeah, those are definitely having a problem for him. He just looked good until until
Till
Yuri
he
caught
didn't.
him. Yeah, that first round, Rakic looked very, very strong, and it was like, okay, this is Rakic's fight. But Yuri doing Yuri, he's just very fucking dangerous, and if he catches you, that's it.
Mm. Yeah, I still want to see Rakic have high competition. I still thought he fought very well.
Mm. Yeah,
It's
he's
just
still at the
MMA.
top.
You get caught against a striker like Yuri that you can't plan for Yuri. You just have to work it out when you're there. You're not getting no trainer's plan for Yuri. I mean, a few days
Like
before
there's,
he was doing this on the treadmill with dumbbells, like weird striking.
yeah.
Like you can't plan for Yuri, so he fought
Yeah, it's
well.
hard to find someone that like matches it Yuri's style. But
Hmm.
yeah, like I said before, Yuri Hill, Rakic is still up there. He's
I
gonna
think
come
he can
back.
rematch. He was
Yeah,
winning
and
and then hurt his knee.
he looked good as well. Like it's 2 years out, he got caught, but he looked good. I
Hmm.
can still see Rakic up there at the top.
Definitely.
But you kind of forget how good this fight was because it was stuck in the middle, and then you think about Holloway Gaethje. But Hill Rakic was an insane fight.
Oh, I think it was second fight of the night. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, probably going Jimmy, but yeah, it was up there. It was a great fight. It was a fucking great card, but yeah, it was a great fight. Was it Sterling Cater the fight before?
Yeah, which it wasn't. Obviously, it was in between Yuri Jakic and all the Bobby Green Miller and all the insane fights and insane finishes. This was the one where it wasn't the biggest crowd pleaser.
Hmm.
But even I thought fair play to Dana, he gave props to Sterling in the post-fight press conference, which in the past he shitted on Sterling a bit. Sterling went up, went up weight and dominated the fight.
Hmm.
He clearly won. He just controlled Cater, which he's a wrestler. Like this was never meant to be fight of the night. Sterling went in there. He said he was a bit disappointed with his performance, but he went in there and completely dominated the fight. Wasn't the
Yeah,
biggest crowd pleaser, but what were you expecting? That was a good performance from Sterling. He did well.
yeah. Fans are weird sometimes. It's like they'll buy tickets for like Sterling Cejudo as the headliner, and then boo it because there's grappling. It's I thought he fought great. He thought a top 10 ranked guy, a featherweight. I know he's not known for his grappling, Cater, but he dominated him for 3 rounds and won a division with Falk, potentially on his way out. Max is up and down. There's, the Yaya and Ortega don't really have a lot of wins under the belt in the last few years. There's
Mm.
options there. I would like to see him. Who would you put him up against now?
I kind of like Ortega. I know Ortega's coming off a win,
What about Everlov?
and like there was like, yeah, if it's not Ortega Evliov, there's Sterling Arnold Allen. It'll be a fun fight.
Hmm.
There's Josh Emmett.
Yeah,
You
there's a
could
lot of
put him
fun
against
fights.
Yair, but I would like to Sterling Evliov or Sterling Ortega or Allen. Yeah, Yeah, I reckon him and Allen, that'd be a good fight.
Like I know in a world of Volk, Topuria, Holloway, I know people won't want to see him in a title shot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a good run at it, another couple of wins, and
He's
he's there.
only max 2 wins. Like, say if he fights Allen and then fights another like
Like
Ortega Evliov,
still since
he's
Mariah's
definitely up
in
there.
2017, maybe he's had one loss.
Mm.
So yeah, I thought he fought great.
Yeah, I could see him having a run.
Yeah, yeah. We had another grappling type matchup. Holly Holm Harrison. I think Holm forgot who she was fighting. I don't know why she thought she was like clinching. Thought I don't know why she thought she was the judo world champion, but she fought well for a little bit, and then Harrison just took over.
Yeah, Home did say like she just didn't do any of the game plan at all.
Mm,
Like, yeah, she clinched judo world champion, and then Kayla quickly showed that was a big mistake. Kayla just dominated her from then.
mm.
I did pick Home to win this because I was worrying about Kayla making the weight, and if she did, how much would that hinder her? She lost her fight before last, and she was also fighting in the PFL, which is not a UFC's level. I was wondering, like, how good is Kayla Harrison?
Yeah,
And she showed us she's pretty fucking good.
I think
Dominated and got the submission in the second round against. I know Holly Holm. She's past it. She's 42, but Holly Holm's still Holly Holm.
I,
So big props to Kayla.
yeah, I thought Holmes probably got the best footwork in the division. Her grappling's improved a lot over the last few years. So I just thought she'd be smart enough, and I
Mm.
thought it should make it a little bit harder for Kayla to get close. Especially, I didn't know how good Kayla's striking was. I didn't expect it to be that good, so that's why I think we both picked home. I think she's the favourite for any other fight in the bantamweight division, though.
Yeah, and there's argument for a title shot, which honestly I think she'll get it. I think she'll bypass Pena. Like
I think we
for
said
a
it
champ,
at the start, though, like we need many bantamweight fights if you're going to actually build that division. The fact that it's been quiet for 3 months now.
yeah, like there was talk Pena getting the fight because she lost against Nunes, and then she was booked for the title fight but got injured. Like she was injured against Nunes, and then I think she was going to fight for the vacant but was still injured, or it was a new injury. I can't remember. But I'll be fine with Kill Harrison bypassing Juliana Pena because Juliana Pena's last fight was the loss against Nunes, where she got completely dominated.
Mm.
I don't think just because Pena was booked that she that title shot is rightfully hers. Kaylee Harrison is a bit of a star. She's just got the finish in her debut on 300. I think they'll do Kayla Harrison for the title next.
Yeah, and one of the June July pay per views.
Mm.
I think, yeah, I think that'd be good for her.
Obviously, before that, Diego Lopez, Sadiq Youssef. I did pick Youssef in this fight, but Lopez another quick first round finish. He's looking good. Like made his debut against Evliov and looked pretty good on his
Mm.
debut against Evliov. And since then, 3 first round finishes, and he's becoming a fan favorite. Like he's just gets the finish, like looks for the finish every time, and he's delivering every single time.
Yeah, I think he called out Everlov, didn't he, for a rematch?
Yeah, which I don't think they will, but I think Lopez is up there. Like they're going to the Sphere soon. I think he'll definitely be on that card. Maybe against like a Barboza, Bryce Mitchell, Chikadze, someone like that.
Did Barbosa get a fight booked recently?
I'm not too sure, but someone on that like level, like just on the top 10.
Mm. I mean, Yousev is a very good fighter. We both picked him, I think,
Yeah,
and because he really hurt Barboza, and he fought well the rest of the fight. And Lopez just comes in against
Lopez
him.
just dangerous. Like he can finish you everywhere as well, and it was all sharp punches he caught with Youssef.
Mm.
He's just dangerous, and he's becoming a problem for like anyone in that division. So I'm really looking forward to see how his the rest of his career plays out.
Yeah, yeah. Another Brazilian, another finisher, Money Moicano.
Mm.
His post-fight interviews just get better and better. I can't afford to lose.
Yeah,
I love him.
and like it wasn't looking good for him. Like Turner's gonna kick himself that he dropped Moicano and walked off. I think he was thinking of that 300k bonus. He thought, right, I've knocked him out, walk off KO. That's definitely gonna get the bonus. But
Hmm.
Moicano wasn't done, and he was like, all right, I think Turner's gonna kick himself that he didn't follow up with it
Hmm.
because Moicano the second round took him down. His takedowns were looking strong as well. I thought Turner might be able to defend a bit better, but Moicano was looking strong and just he was just dominating on the ground until he got the ground and pound finish.
Yeah, I think we said last week why I picked Turner. Like we've just seen him get a very close fight with Gamrot, and he's
Mm,
fighting he's like 6'7", and he's fighting a former featherweight. Is he really gonna grapple him? Is he gonna be that successful? And he was.
mm.
He got hurt, bit nearly knocked out in the corner. He was like, "Okay, compose yourself. I'm not striking with you anymore. I'm just gonna take you down." And submitted him in the second. He fought great. He's called out with a few people. He's called out Paddy.
Which
I
I
think
think could
I just want to see
like
Moicano get big fights.
yeah, it's a big fight for him, a big name. I'm picking Moicano on that. I don't think like if Paddy wasn't Paddy, I wouldn't be making that fight. But Paddy's a big name. Paddy needs to
Mm,
start fighting someone in the just outside the top 10.
mm,
You know, he's on a few wins now. Yeah, I'd be down for that fight, or even Bobby Green, who got the. We'll talk about that in a bit. Bobby
yeah,
Green, Paddy, or even Bobby Green, Moicano. There's a few fights for him, but Moicano's
yeah.
definitely good.
I
I'm a
just
big fan of Moicano.
I love him. He's
Mm,
becoming one of my favorite fighters.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just yeah, I just love him. So I want to see him big fights, big money fights for Money Moicano.
Andrade Rodriguez. Andrade fought well. I thought she was clearly got the decision. The pressure was too much for Rodriguez. It's it's now 6 o'clock. We need to quickly go through these few fights because there's a few fight
Mm,
announcements he made after the in the post fight press conference that I want to get to as well. Yeah, Andrade Rodriguez, Andrade looked good. Pressure was good.
mm.
That's it. I've got nothing but to add.
Well, it was the least hyped fight in the card. It was probably the least hyped fight overall after the
Mm.
the card. So yeah, well done, Andrade.
It was still like it wasn't a boring fight though. It was a good fight. It was just
Yeah,
stuck in the middle of craziness.
yeah.
Um,
Next
stuck in the
fight,
yeah.
fucking craziness. Bobby King Green, Jim Miller. I thought Jim Miller was going to get it done in the first round.
Yeah, you heard
He
Bobby
was hit.
Green a couple of times in the first.
Yeah,
And then Bobby
and
Green, especially after the tough knockout loss against Jalen Turner last December, I was like, oh, this is not good for Bobby Green. Turned it around and it was like, shit, Bobby Green's going to finish Jim Miller. And Jim Miller's face was busted up. Bobby Green
oof.
could not miss. When it
See the
started
video
getting later in
today.
the fight, he could not miss. And I thought he was inches, he was split seconds away from that fight being stopped. But what, what a comeback for Bobby Green.
I think if it was in UFC 300 and Jim Miller, he probably would have stopped it. But I think he wanted to
Mm,
give Jim Miller every opportunity. But
yeah, yeah.
I think Bobby Green was. Yeah, we all expecting him to win. I think. I was quite confident in Bobby Green.
I love his style. It's just him. Like there isn't like another fighter like him.
No.
Hands, not even like just down low here. They're literally just down, all the way down, just walking towards you.
How do you think you start? How that starts?
Mm.
How do you think like Bobby Green started that? Because if I do that on Friday night, Joe will slap me. Or if
Put
I
your
do
hands
it
up.
tomorrow night in kickboxing, like they'll just slap me. Like, what are you doing? It's not even like it's just down.
It's like, is it like Adesanya has like his hands down here? It is just like down here,
Yeah, like go on.
but it just works for him, and he does it very fucking well.
Mm.
So yeah, there's a few fun fights for Bobby Green.
I
It's
think
always
if
a
the
fun fight when
BMF
Bobby Green
wasn't
wins.
so because the BMS basically below the title, like the level like Gaethje, Poirier, Holloway. Uh, I think like people like him and Dan Hooker. I would love for them to fight for a BMF or be in big fights because it's just been entertaining for the last how many years.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll just see how it goes. Bobby Green and Dan Hooker will be. They haven't fought, have they?
No, well Dan Hooker's saying Denise getting linked, and that's just dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see how it goes. Obviously, first fight on the card, Figgy Garbrandt. I thought it was going to be the striking of Figgy that was going to catch Garbrandt, but Garbrandt looks strong.
Mm.
Like he looked good on the feet. He like Garbrandt, even though he lost this fight, he did look a lot better. But when as soon as Figgy got it to the ground, he showed how good he was on the ground. And Garbrandt just didn't have an answer, and yeah, submitted him rear naked choke.
I don't think he was going to be that good on the ground. Like moving up, and
Mm.
I can't. I know he's fought a lot of strikers in his career, but you can't think of a time that Cody's looked anyway outclassed on the ground.
Yeah, it looked a
He's
different
even
level.
fought Rafael Sunsao, and he looked fine. But he looked so good, Figgy, on the ground,
Yeah, he
so
looked
good.
very strong.
Um, and how competitive do you think he'll be against the top one, top two, top three, like against Umar, Marab?
Yeah, I think his next fight should be like a title eliminator. Figgy Peter Yan will be a fun fight.
Peter
You
Yan,
know,
did he blow out his knee or he got an injury? I think.
Ozzy.
Yeah,
You could do Figgy Cheeto. I don't know how. I think Cheeto just should have some time. If they're doing
yeah.
Sandhagen, Nurmagomedov, yeah, there's a few fights for him. But I think he should be in like a title eliminator next. This is a former champion. He's had 2 wins in the division now.
Two
I
top
think he
wins.
should
Yeah,
have one. I think he should be up there, one of the best in the division next.
and I think his fight before was even more impressive than this one because
Yeah,
Rob
yeah,
Font is a very top 10.
yeah, yeah. We'll quickly go through the picks. Um, I got Figgy, Bobby Green, Sterling, Yuri. So I
Mm.
got 4 right on the prelims. And on the main, I got Bo, Armin, Holloway, and Zhang. I got 8 in total.
I got two right on the prelims. I got Bobby Green and Aljo, which Jesus Christ. Um, and then on the main card, I got Bo Nickel. I picked Holloway. We did that stupid thing last week where we changed the pick to Gaethje. Don't know why we did that. I said Holloway 3 months ago, 2 months ago, last week.
Oh, you picked him.
So I'm not really accepting that one. And I pick Willie Jan and Pereira.
So how many is that in total?
Are we giving me the Holloway one? What change did we do for you last week? We just
I think
changed one.
I think I changed Charles to Armin.
That's just.
I don't think I got Armin.
I knew that would happen.
Have the Holloway if you want.
Yeah, I thank you. So I got six, four main card, two prelims.
So 8-6. I was already 7 ahead. This was your chance to catch up.
Well, there's still time.
Well, we'll see how it goes because we've only got a few minutes left, and obviously Dana made some big
Fight
fight announcements.
announcements.
Start off from the start. 3-2. Yeah, Islam Poirier. What do you
Yes.
think? Obviously, Poirier, I don't think he deserves a title shot, but he's
Fuck
next.
you.
Armin said no, so Poirier's the next guy. It's
This is
fun, and I would really like Poirier to win, but I don't see it happening.
this is what you do. You credit legends of the sport.
Yeah, like
So go to this. Oh, he's got
he's a
win
future Hall of
streak.
Famer.
He's
Like,
a legend of the sport.
I'm happy that he's getting one last chance. Like I said, I don't think he deserves it, but Armin said no. There isn't
Mm.
anyone else. Poirier's just coming off that big win against BSD.
He's getting it done.
I hope he does it.
He's getting it done.
Obviously, the core main Strickland Costa. I was thinking they'll do Strickland Whitaker, but Strickland Costa is a very fun fight. 5 rounds as well, 5 round core main.
Mm. Well, I thought
I
Costa
do
fought very
pick
well against
Strickland for
Whitaker.
that, but
Costa fought very well against Whitaker, so I
yeah, he
thought
looked
he's
very
still right
fucking
there.
good. It was probably
Yeah,
he lost, but it was probably his best performance today.
yeah.
And Strickland looked again like he lost against Duplessis, but he looked very fucking good. This is going to be a very fun fight, especially over
Mm.
5 rounds.
Yeah, yeah. It
And
probably
then
will get there.
obviously, big one, McGregor Chandler finally announced for International Fight Week. That's 5 rounds at 170. He didn't say main event, but I assume it's the main event.
Mm.
It's been like I think it was last year they did. They're on the second tough season. Like this next
Yeah,
tough
yeah, yeah.
season. This fight's been meaning to
Well, it was
be
announced in
booked for ages.
2022.
Yeah, so I'm happy it's finally getting booked. Um, Early
I've said for the
prediction.
last year and a half, Connor gets wiped the floor with. His last proper win was when me and you were just coming out the womb.
What?
His last, I said his last proper win was when me and you came out the womb. It was so long ago. How many years ago was it? 8 years?
Four?
No, his last proper win.
Well, I was throwing not a proper win.
Because he's on like a 2 fight losing streak, maybe even a 3 fight losing streak.
Yeah,
Like that. I
before
mean, a
that
proper win.
was that it? Was it Alvarez and Cerrone?
It
They
was
his last 2 wins.
Khabib, Mayweather, Cerrone, Poirier.
That was 2016. Eddie Alvarez, 8 years ago.
That's
Jesus
what I mean.
Christ.
Like, and he fought twice in 2021. It's now 2024. He's had a leg break. It's not like he's been a full time athlete training since then.
Yeah,
For me, it feels like he needs this mentally, but he's just not going to be there. He's not going to be nowhere near his form. So I
whereas
think
I think
Chandler's going to walk over
Chandler's
him.
training 100% for this. But then it's also is Chandler just going to make mistakes and just go for the fight. Whereas
Mm.
that's where McGregor's going to take advantage and pick him off. I'm excited, and it's always like obviously McGregor does a lot of shit outside the octagon and goes through these stages. But at the end of the day, it's always fun when McGregor fights.
Yeah,
Leading up to the fight itself, it's always huge. So I'm happy that he's finally back.
yeah, and like it'd be better for the sport if he gets a win because there's so many fun fights for him. But
Mm,
I just think he's not going to be good. But
yeah,
hopefully, I'll be proved wrong.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
But June's a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, they're both pay per views in
Them two
June,
pay
aren't
per
they?
views. You got Whitaker Chimaev,
Huge.
June 22nd.
Oh shit,
June
yeah,
is a motherfucker.
that's a
And
big
to top it
month.
all off, you got Diaz Masvidal in a boxing match.
Fucking, I
So
don't give a fuck
we're eating
about
good.
that. Alright, right, that's it. Twins Talk MMA, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.